I am 𝐚𝐬𝐭 𝐅𝐚𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐨. I'm the Chief Secretary of Environmental Health and Climate Change Committee of PHP. So in the pre-session form, I noticed that a lot of you, the better half of you all, the participants, have not attended a webinar or anything about fast fashion. And since today is going to be your first time learning about this, I hope you all will enjoy this experience with our committee members and our esteemed guest speaker, 𝐅𝐚𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐨 𝐭𝐡𝐢, who teaches consumer psychology for the students of IPP, and he teaches many other courses throughout Bahrain University in different departments. Okay, so this webinar is specifically about fast fashion and consumerism and its impact on the environment, right? Before we begin, I'd like to do some like an insight building activity because so the participants can feel clarity about their involvement in the environment and fast fashion. So I just like to ask you a few questions. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You can answer as truthfully as you can, because we're all humans here. We're all learning. We're here to grow up, right? So the first question I'd like to ask you is that how often do you wear a new outfit before buying another? Like, for example, you just bought an outfit, and how often would you wear it before you make a next purchase? Is there anyone who would like to participate? Is there anyone who would like to, tell us about their purchasing habits? At least, okay, so we have Manuel Lasagna, and in the chat, they're saying, let me just open it up. They say that they wait for at least 4 to 5 months before in between purchases. And someone, 𝐚𝐬𝐿 Shahid, is saying that almost quite a few times because brands these days are really expensive. That's right. We're going to discuss this too. Why are they so expensive suddenly? Like, what's causing this? Okay. I appreciate this every month, I'd say. That is, see, there's a lot of variation in our responses. Some of them are saying 2 to 3 weeks, some of them are saying 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 5 months. So we're going to understand like what causes these differences and what's the impact of these purchases that you make. Okay. So that was really good. Thank you for the response. And my next question is, have you ever bought something online just because it was on sale? You saw an Instagram ad and it said that it was on a sale, and then you had to buy it, even if you didn't need it. Okay, there's some that say no, and then there's others that are saying yes. Yeah, so the impulsivity of people can vary from individual to individual, but it still exists in people, definitely, I would say. And my third and final question is, how many items in your closet are currently something you haven't worn? You bought them, but you just didn't get the occasion to wear it, or maybe you don't like how it looks like in your room lights, because brands, when you go to a brand's shop and the light over there just makes everything look so attractive, but when you come home it's not really the same look. So how often does that happen with you guys? Okay, people are saying a lot. Yes, definitely. This is a similar shared experience. Okay. Yeah. I personally have like maybe 1 or 2 shirts that I bought because I like them. And now I don't have an occasion to wear it because, um, either it's like Bhaiya doesn't allow like t-shirts, and or like other occasions are sometimes not safe. And I had to, I should have made that thought pattern, like thought analysis. Where can I wear this before buying it? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your responses. Now, like, if you really put this into perspective, you guys have a lot of, like you'll have a bit of clarity on, do you contribute to this fast fashion and the effect on its environment, or do you not? I'm sure a lot of you will, have some clarity now. So now we're going to move on to explaining what fast fashion really is. Anusha, our committee member, will come and explain to you what fast fashion is. Hi everyone, I am Anusha, and before we begin, I want to start with a quick thought. Have you ever noticed how quickly fashion trends change today? Something that feels new today might feel outdated just a few months later. That speed is actually the foundation of what we call fast fashion. Fast fashion is a business model where clothing brands produce trendy and affordable clothes very quickly, and they keep up with the constantly changing styles. Instead of focusing on designs that stay relevant for many years, the focus is on speed, affordability, and the following trends as they appear. Brands carefully watch what is trending, whether it is a fashion show, celebrity outfits, or styles circulating on social media. Once a trend starts gaining attention, companies quickly creates similar designs and bring them to stores. So, a trend that appears online today can sometimes appear in the stores within just a few weeks. Another important feature of fast fashion is how often brands release new collections. In the past, most clothing brands followed seasonal cycles: spring collections, summer collections, winter collections, as we all know. Today, many brands release new designs much more frequently, sometimes very few weeks. Let me ask you something. I want you guys to interact with it. When you walk into a clothing store after a month or two, have you noticed how the entire display is often looks completely different? I want you guys to tell me, how often have you noticed that? I need some responses, okay? Yeah. My question is, have you noticed when you walk into the clothing store after a month or two, have you noticed how the entire display of a store looks completely different? It happens very often, yeah. I noticed that with some Western, yeah, you are right, Nisha. या जैसे अभी रिसेंटली हम फर्शी शलवार देख सकते हैं. फर्शी शलवार लाइक देवर लाइक मतलब वो पूरी तरह से उन्होंने क्लोथिंग स्टोर्स पे ना एक हमला कर दिया था. हर स्टोर पे एक ही तरह की फर्शी शलवार, एक ही तरह के डिजाइन, एंड एक्चुअली पीपल वर बाइंग इट अनफॉर्चुनेटली. So thank you so much for the responses. So that constant change is the part of the fast fashion strategy. It encourages the customers to keep returning to see what is new. Social media has also played a huge role in accelerating these trends. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok allows these fashion styles to spread globally almost instantly. An outfit worn by an influencer or celebrity can quickly inspire thousands of similar looks around the world. Now, if you zoom out and look at the global scale of the fashion industry, it is enormous. Every year, the industry produces roughly 100 to 150 billion garments worldwide. At the same time, clothing consumption has increased dramatically over the last 20 years, meaning people are purchasing more clothing than previous generations did. Like if you ask your mother or your father how often they used to buy new clothes, they would really say कि हम तो सिर्फ ईद के ईदी कपड़े बनाते थे. But now if we like something, तो हम लोग इसी चीज को खरीद लेते हैं कि यार चलो हमें यूनिवर्सिटी में पहनने में काम आएगी, या हमें किसी छोटी मोटी हैंग आउट में पहनने के काम आएगी, right? Now let's bring the conversation closer to the example of Pakistan. Pakistan actually plays a very significant role in the global fashion and textile industry. The textile sectors accounts for about 60% of Pakistan's export, which makes it one of the most important industry in our economy. It also employs around 40% of the industrial workforce, meaning millions of people in Pakistan depend on textile and garment production for their livelihoods. Pakistan is also among the largest cotton producing countries in the world, which means we contribute significantly to the raw material used in clothing production globally. Because of this, Pakistan occupies a very interesting position in the fast fashion system. On one side, we are a producer country supplying textile and garments to international market, but unfortunately, on the other side, we are also becoming a growing customer of fast fashion. Over the last decade, consumer behavior in Pakistan has changed noticeably. Local clothing brands have expanded rapidly and now release collection more frequently to keep up with the changing trends. Brands like Khadi, Sapphire, Outfitters, Breakout, Limelight, and Generation regularly introduces new designs and seasonal launches. But if you have ever visited a mall in cities like Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, you have probably noticed how frequently stores update their display and collections. If we compare this with the past, clothing purchases in Pakistan were usually occasion based. People mostly bought new outfits for events like Eid, weddings, or seasonal changes. Like अगर जैसे summers में lawn की कोई collection आ रही है तो उसमें से lawn के pieces ले लिए, या फिर अगर winters में कोई linen की आ रही है तो उसमें से वो ले लिए. Otherwise, they never used to buy any clothes क्योंकि वो trend के साथ चल रहे थे. Today, fashion is becoming much more trend driven and fast moving, which reflects the global shift toward fast fashion. Understanding the shift helps us see how Pakistan is connected to the global fashion system, both as a producer of textile and also a consumer of the fashion market. And with that overview, we can now move forward and look at some of the broader impacts of the fast fashion industry.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Maruba, and today what we're going to talk about and discuss is marketing psychology and how brands actually make you buy, and how we can say that brands influence consumer buying behaviors. So, what is marketing psychology and how is it related to fast fashion? Now, as Anusha has already elaborated on fast fashion, here comes the part of marketing psychology. So marketing psychology is basically this concept which is going to tell you how are you basically going and buying so many clothes. A lot of people previously in the chat box have told that they've been buying clothes every few months or like weeks. So how is that actually happening, and how have we shifted from previously just buying on occasions or very seasonal clothing to now just more like impulsive clothing? So, fast fashion, what happens at fast fashion that we buy and we frequently buy, and the brands also frequently produce clothes. How is that happening? Now, there are some marketing techniques or tactics that we're going to look into today. Number one is going to be FOMO. You must have heard this term. I think a lot of us must have. It translates to fear of missing out. So, how does it happen in the sense of fast fashion? What happens is that when we look at a lot of brands and when we visit them or just online, we see a lot of tags like limited stock remaining or just for a seasonal sale. So that is how we have this feeling that we're going to miss out on this collection, or we're going to miss out on the fabrics used or on the styles used, and we tend to buy. So we have many brands at example, like for example, Khadi uses this, and we also see brands using personalized text as per you were receiving text on your number, telling about what is happening these days, what sale is going on, how much discount can you get, and that this inculcates this fear in you that you will not have these, and that is something that impacts you. That is how you will buy more clothes. Um, Moving forward, we have another thing which is called the concept of scarcity. Scarcity creation, or we can also call it this a place where we as consumers are told that this is an urgent need that we have to buy such amount of clothes or such things. Now, looking at the current perspective, we have Eid coming up, and you must have all of you must have seen ethnic and khadi outlets either in person or online, at least on social media, and we have seen what is happening there.